Tonight, the chief of police in Greeley says COVID-19 is playing a role in the recent uptick in violent crimes in his city.
In a lengthy post online, Chief Mark Jones talked about several factors that might contribute to the recent shootings and murders. CBS 4's Dillon Thomas is at Greeley Police Headquarters right now. And Dillon, the chief thinks the virus has emboldened the bad guys.
Jim, the chief says that the virus itself is actually not the only dangerous thing coming out of the pandemic thus far. He points out that inmates have been let out early from jail due to the pandemic. He also notes that drug usage has spiked throughout Colorado, and he believes that some criminals are using masks to disguise themselves.
After a weekend riddled with gunfire,
seen an increase in violence, especially over the last couple months here in Greeley.
Just on Halloween alone, 3 shootings took place in a 3-hour period in Greeley. Police Chief Mark Jones says many factors around COVID-19 are influencing the spike in violent crime.
I think it's a combination of the stress in our society right now, which is partially COVID, obviously with political unrest. And then you also add the caveat of not putting as many people in jail and prisons.
Colorado prisons and jails are releasing inmates and refusing others. Jones says career criminals are capitalizing on the pandemic's demand for mask wearing as well.
And I just think that it's emboldened people to be even more active in criminal activity because they don't fear being identified both either before or after the crime.
The chief says stress caused by the pandemic has also propelled drug usage, and Denver-based gangs are capitalizing on the Greeley market. Of the city's last 4 homicides,
3 out of the 4 involved gang members either as suspects or victims that were from the Denver metro area.
Between more anonymity, stress, drug usage, increases in illegal gun possession, and reluctancy to jail those who offend,
I think you throw that whole mix together, and I think it's part of the answer to why we're seeing an increase in violence.
Now, the chief acknowledges there are some other factors that do play a role into this. However, he says he will be moving forward with his department to see how they can better address the issues they have experienced as of late. If you would like to read his full statement, we have provided that for you to read on cbsdenver.com. Live in Greeley tonight, Dillon Thomas covering Colorado First.